Hello everybody, Dan from Encore Motor Cars in Sarasota, Florida. Going to take a quick look at this 2012 Mercedes-Benz C63 AMG Coupe. This car is a rare car. There's not many of these out there. If you're in the market for one of these, I'm sure you know probably more than I know about this particular model. Just wanted to get that out there. If you are watching this video to learn all about these cars, the nitty-gritties of it, I'm probably not going to cover that information for you. This car is for sale down here in Sarasota, and I'm just going to cover the equipment that this car has been equipped with from the factory, and general condition of the car, close-ups of the areas that commonly get wear on them to demonstrate how nice the car is. So let's, without further ado, let's take a walk around the car. I'm just going to show you the condition of the car first. I've got the copy of the equipment package window sticker printout of the car, what it was equipped with when it was new, and we'll be covering that in just a minute. So just hang in there if that's what you're looking for. The car, I just walked around the whole car. In fact, I routinely kind of wash them down and dry them off, so that I can learn about the car's body, look for issues, problems, dings, dents, scratches, those kind of things. And I just went around the whole car, and it looks like this car has been very well maintained in a garage and kept out of any kind of damage, any kind of situation that would cause damage. I can't see any evidence of that, so I'm just going to quickly walk around, and then I'm going to take some close-ups of the wheels and the front and the rear sections that people are usually concerned about. First off, the front section of the car, I got down low and tried to find any kind of issue or problem with the leading edge. The lower section is a black painted, glossy black painted section down here on the bottom underneath the lower intake, and that is in very good condition. Even on the very tip of it, there's no damage on it, and it's just a really nice car. The hopes that we had was to find somebody that was willing to pay a fair price for a car that was a little nicer than maybe some of the others out there, and to find a car, if you're looking for a car that is 100% stock, that has not been modified. There's some modified cars out there, and frankly we try to steer away from them because we're afraid of some activities that may have occurred that we aren't aware of that cause some kind of damage or problem, or that may cause some liability issues for us in the future. So the way that we like to do it is to find cars that are 100% stock. This car is a fine example of that. This was all AMG, Mercedes and AMG equipment that was installed. Nobody's been involved with any kind of modification, software enhancements, any of that kind of stuff. None of that's happened on this car. Let's take a look at the wheels. A set of nice 5-star AMG wheels. And you can see the AMG calipers back in here. It's the way I've got the car parked, it's hard to see the AM. You can just see the beginning of the A there. But it does have a nice set of the Continentals, which was what was used when the car was new. And it's been through a set of tires. We've got a new set of tires on the rear and the front. All 4 tires are new. And it's a matching set of the Continental Sport Content tires. Factory size, factory specifications. Okay, let's take a look at the back area of the car, and you can see that the AMG, you can see the styling of the AMG. Just a couple of little things about the car in case you don't know. The 2-door coupes are, we think that they're going to be the ones that are the valuable cars in the future as far as investment purposes. The 2-door coupe is the sports car edition of the C-Series, and it's got the lower rocker panel here. That's the sport package, and then around the back, it continues around the back with this flat black section of the lower section here in between the 4 exhaust tips here, 2 on each side, and you can see the AMG insignia or the embossed AMG logo on the top of each one of these tailpipe extensions. The LED lights in the rear section as part of the upgraded AMG package. The spoiler is just basically the sport spoiler that's available on all C-Class cars. It's got the panoramic roof on this car, and on the back I can not see any damage or any kind of issues. Again, It's got the parking sensors all the way around. That might have helped the situation, avoiding any kind of backing up in anything. And then around the wheel wells and around the lower sections when you can back into things in the painted areas, and the lower sections on both sides are in very nice condition with no damage, no scratches. And along the sides of the body, even on the edges of the door, sometimes they can take some damage. Along the edge here, there's nothing happening on either one of the doors. And we'll get into the interior in just a second here. Let me finish by showing you the edge of this door here. Again, the driver's door is usually a little bit more prone to scratches or dings. There's just a little spot right here that looks like it was touched up. It's one of the outer sections of the door that if you're up against the wall might go up against it. That is very, it's like the tip of a pen, a big pen, not a Sharpie, just a really small spot, and I can only tell by putting my hand along it. So that's the worst part of the whole car that I just found. And you can see that the car's just in beautiful shape. The AMG sill plates are the AMG logo. That's lit. That's not just white lettering. That's actually lit back there, backlit. And then the interior on this car is perfect. Hate to use that word, but I went over it to try to find something wrong with it. It is in beautiful condition. The bolster has no wear on it. The landing area has no wear on it. It does have the really nice steering wheel too, the AMG Sport steering wheel with the flat bottom, the perforated material along the 9 o'clock and the 3 o'clock position, and then the soft leather on the top. Obviously, they've got any AMG car, they've got the shift paddles and the center console with the shifter on the center console instead of the stem up there on the steering column. So we have a Harman Kardon sound system in here, and without further ado, let me just get right into the equipment that this car came with. I have the sticker. We can look at it together. If you want me to send this to you, I'll be happy to take a picture of it and text it to you or email it to you. Okay, the car was born in Long Island, New York, and we did put this car in the lift, and the car is super clean underneath. This person, whoever had this car, only enjoyed this car in weather that was appropriate for use. It doesn't have any kind of oxidation or any problems anywhere on there. If you're worried about, if you saw the Carfax, it's a one-owner car, but it was in New York, and then brought down to Florida. Georgia Mercedes-Benz Financial is where this car came from. Most likely was a leased car, and the person just decided to walk away from it. So the equipment, diamond white paint, that was a $1,515 addition to this car. And the MB Blacks text with I don't know if Dynamica or Dynamica, which is the center section here. It's like a suede material that is the insert between the MB text, which is the Mercedes-Benz's name for the imitation leather that is supposed to actually outlast the leather material, and it feels very similar. If you don't know about MB Tex, you should look it up, but it's positively received by most of the people that know about it. The chrome door handles, it has those, you saw those on the outside. AMG illuminated door sills, $850 for those. Parktronic with parking guidance, so it has the parking guidance feature, $970. It has the lighting package, bi-xenon headlamps with active curve. So these headlights are active, and when you're making a turn, the lights kind of turn in there with you, so you see where you're going. Very nice option, $1,290 for that. And one of the things that I would definitely, and I'm sure most people are that are invested, would like to invest in a car like this, they would like to have the upgraded sound and the upgraded technology systems. You know, if you're in for a nickel, you're in for a dime on a car like this. That's a must-have. It's a $2,790 option, but it's the 320 multimedia package, 7-inch screen, high-resolution color display. And let's, without further ado, go ahead and put the key in and take a look at that while we're talking about it. instead of just listing it here. Hold on a second. That's why. Oh, I love that sound. Well, let's listen to the engine for a quick second here. Nice throaty sound there. So we've got the navigation system here, and also the audio system. That is an upgraded system with the Harman Kardon stereo speakers on here, and it also has the factory subwoofer, so it's a very, very good and powerful system. A lot of plenty of wattage, and the speakers really make the difference. You've got extra speakers in the Harman Kardon system, and like I said, the subwoofer for the bass sound. So that's a nice feature to have. Let's get back to the window sticker here and talk about it does have the Embrace in-vehicle services. So that is the 6 month. That was something that was when the car was new. Limited slip differential lock on this car with the C63 option. The limited slip differential lock was a big option. $2,030 on that car when it was new, and that's a big deal for the performance aspect of the car. Burl walnut wood, that's just the choice that you would get from different choices. I think it's a classy look for the inside of this car with the black trim. That brown burl wood is nice. AMG spoke 18-inch wheel was part of the AMG package. You just got to choose which style of wheel, which I love these 5-star. Keyless go was an option. That's to put your hands on the exterior handle. When you leave the car, it locks it. When you get to the car, it unlocks it without any interaction with the key. The key can stay in your purse if you're a girl, or in your pocket if you're a guy. And you can open the car up. And also, it allows you to put a start-stop button right into the place where the key goes. You can actually plug a button in there. If the key's in close proximity, then you can hit that button and it will start up. So that if you're looking for one of those, let me know. They're inexpensive at Mercedes. You can buy one. They're very inexpensive. The lane tracking package, blind spot assistance up here behind the mirror is a camera that keeps track of the lanes in front, and blind spot assistance, and that is on the, you can see it there on that mirror. It's on the edge there. There's a amber light that's lit a triangle. Probably familiar with these, have seen them on other vehicles, and it has that as well. On the center of this here, you can see way up here, I'm going to move the camera around so you can maybe see it, this little thing right here, that little picture of the car in between the lanes shows that you've got that package of the lane tracking package. And then we've got the totals coming up too. So the car started at $61,430 with that equipment added. We've got a sticker out the door, $75,700, including the gas guzzler, destination charges, and all that stuff. So it's got a great sticker price value. I've seen some people looking for a big money for these cars. You might have seen these cars out there for $69,000. I don't know, maybe with 2,000, 3,000 miles on it. They bought them for just straight investment purposes. Well, that sure does help the regular Joes that are just looking for a low mileage driver to have some fun with, and use as a fun car and a performance car. Maybe this car could be a daily driver for somebody, and just, you know, this is a car that's going to hold its value over the years, and I can imagine this car 25, 30 years from now is going to be, well, all the other C classes may have fallen by the wayside, and this car is one that's just going to be one that's for the ages. So if you got this car, this would be a nice car to use as a third car and a kind of an investment driver. If it can see that it's set from $75,000 to $43,000, you know, a big chunk of the depreciation has come down on the cars, and the depreciation factor on this car is very low if you don't use it very much, and take good care of it like it is now. So without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and just take it for a quick ride just to let you see the gauges in action. We'll get back to the dealership. I'll pop the hood and look at the engine. And the dealership's just down the street, so it won't be a long ride, guys, so just hang in there for a minute. walking his dog, so we'll be careful through here. Very nice, comfortable ride. You can feel it's sporty. You can feel that the suspension is set up for sport, even track, but it is comfortable to drive in. And even though the suspension is tuned, it is a soft ride in these back streets, and it's not something that isn't too firm and too difficult to enjoy just in everyday driving, cruising around as a daily driver. But I can definitely feel that this thing is would corner very aggressively and hold the road, and it makes you kind of want to drive the car a little bit. I'm sure if I drove it on a daily basis, I wouldn't have the urge to do that, but I'm usually driving a Jeep, so it's a nice change and something that is that would be a good time to drive this car. All right. Step on the gas, that's something that you definitely can hear. That's a pleasurable sound. All right, I'll continue this video back in the store when we get under the awning. All right, we're back at the store here, guys, and we're just going to take a look underneath the hood of the car. And this is the way the car came in. Really didn't have to go under the hood here to do anything to clean it up. It's really excellent condition of AMG motors. Got the signature of the engine rover on here, like the other AMG engines all have, and they take a great pride in making these cars. Limited production car. I don't know how many of these were made, but there's not a lot of these around. Very limited production. And this car's in fantastic condition all the way around. Somebody really took good care of this car. And without the light division, it's probably a little easier for everybody to see the seats. So I'm just going to show the seats again. Close-ups of the seats. You've got the embossed AMG emblem on the seat backs of the front seats, and talked about how nice the interior is, but I'd like to show it as well as this. You know, I can claim it, but I'd rather show it. That's what the point of the video is. Armrest and so forth. It's in great condition. All the little buttons, no wear on the buttons, no black rubberized material coming off these buttons from wear. Obviously the car really hasn't been used very much, so you wouldn't expect it to be that way, but there's a lot of them that are got some more miles on them, and that stuff starts happening with them if they're not cared for. And that should just about wrap it up, guys. Name of the dealership again is Encore Motor Cars. Here's our store. This used to be the BMW dealership here in town. We've got a big showroom full of cars. We've got a full service department with 4 full-time service technicians back that way. And you can see the kind of inventory that we keep here. All really nice, low mileage cars, European stuff mostly. A lot of BMW, Mercedes, Audi, Porsche. Got some really nice stuff here. And once in a while, we're lucky enough to get one of these performance AMG cars in. And I take this video so that people from all over the country can see it. I do also provide financing for people. If you have a car that you need to trade in, that's something that we can help with. You can see the kind of cars we have. If you have something that's similar and you just want to upgrade to the performance edition of the car, or have some other kind of car that you need to trade to get into this one, we're happy to accommodate with trade-ins. Also financing in all 50 states. We're able to do financing, and we have all the banks that the new car dealerships have with competitive rates and so forth. So please don't hesitate to call if this is something that is interesting to you. And if you're looking for one of these cars, I can tell you, I don't think I would be able to find a nicer car at this price. There's a lot of cars that people are looking for a lot of money for, and then there's some modified stuff and stuff with more miles on it that are a little less money, but it's worth the extra money to pay for a nice original car that was well cared for like this one. Also the four doors. The four doors are something that's kind of those are cars that I think they're going to be valuable in the future, but I don't believe in the future that the four doors are going to be the blue chip investment of the C63 series. I think the two doors are what really people are going to go after. So hopefully you recognize that as well. All right, well, thanks for watching today, and I really, if you have any questions, my phone number is right at the top of this video, 941-915-7637. Thanks.